Welcome to Savor the Story podcast, where books and snacks are life. I'm Nicole, and this is Vanessa.
Hello.
And welcome.
Yes. This is our first regular episode of 2025.
Mm-hmm.
We do have another episode in 2025 on January 1st. So if you haven't listened to our end of year wrap up, go do it. Right now.
Oh, I'll pause.
Yes. Thank you.
Welcome back.
Mm-hmm.
You may have also noticed that we are also visual.
On video. Yes. It should be, if you are listening to audio right now and would like to do video, I'm hoping that we're going to be on Spotify and YouTube on video. So I'll put links in the description so you can find the video.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So this is a new adventure for us.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of our 2025 goals.
Yes.
And I'm not 100% sure I like it yet.
Well, you haven't even seen it yet. So we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
It'll be great.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can watch us talk about our books.
You can see all my hand motions every time I'm
Yes.
I'm air quoting here. You can actually see the air quotes.
You can see how many times we yawn.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's going to be hard to hide.
Yeah.
Because usually I use the microphone and I just hide behind the microphone. And now...
Like I can't tell.
Right.
Yes. It'll be great. We'll get used to it. You'll get used to it. Everybody will enjoy it.
Everybody will just deal.
Yes, exactly.
So.
How are you doing? How are you doing this stressful day for you?
I'm pretty good. Good. My eye twitch has gone away.
Okay, great.
So I'm glad that happened for the first episode.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So yeah, I had, I guess, I don't know, a stressful week and not, I don't know. We closed on our house.
Yes.
So that's the big news.
Yes.
I guess. But
and
yeah,
now you have to move out.
Now we have to move tomorrow. So that's why we're doing so many episodes today, because there's no way I'd be able to record tomorrow.
No. So. You just, excuse me, mover. Can you please wait to pack this up until I'm done?
Silently.
Yes, exactly.
So, yeah. How about you? How was your week?
You know what? I'm really sad. All week I have been in pure avoidance mode. Pure denial mode.
Oh, denial. There we go.
Yes. Avoiding what's happening, denying what's happening, all of the things. Every time we're together and we're hanging out, I'm just like, this is just a normal day. This isn't the last time I'm doing this with you for a while.
I know. And it has caused us to hang out. Not that it's a bad thing, but I feel like I've eaten out and hung out a shit ton this week.
So many times. We have had meals out together at least 5 times this week.
Yes. Sometimes in the same day.
Yes.
Both like lunch and dinner.
Yeah. I know. I'm so sad. So when we left the other night from when we went out with the husbands, we got in the car and I was like, that's probably like the last time. Well, before I knew that I was going to see you tomorrow, I was like, that's probably like the last time I'm going to see Nicole in person until like before she moves. And he was like, why didn't we make a bigger deal? And I was like, I prefer not to cry in the middle of a bar. Thank you.
Yeah, that is always preferable to not cry in a bar. It always gets awkward.
A little bit. Yeah. So I was just like, it's okay. I'll see her again soon. We already have a plan for the end of January. So I was like, I'm not going to make a big deal.
Yeah. And then yesterday I was like, can I sleep at your house?
Yeah. Yes. So I will see you again. But that's been my week, is just a lot of eating out and denying that you're leaving me.
Right. Can I talk about back to the little, like our me and you and Tim and Mike all went out to eat. This ties into snacks kind of.
Okay.
And I think you already know what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
But while we were there, I was ordering our food, and you have to walk up and place your order up there. Well, I got like flustered or something. I don't remember if I had the mental list, and one of the mental checklist items was, hey, when you order this burger, make sure to sub for a veggie burger. And I forgot to do that.
Which is weird as a vegetarian.
Right. I was so focused on making sure I got the whole list.
Yeah.
I just forgot one of my mental checklist items.
Mm-hmm.
And so my burger came to me as an actual hamburger.
It did.
And I didn't want to make a big deal. Be like, please remake my food.
Yeah.
So I ate I ate half of it.
You did.
I ate probably about half, and I paid for it.
I believe it.
My stomach was very sad that night and the next day, and I know it's not something that anybody really wants to know, but I don't have a gallbladder either. Okay. So it was probably worse than it could have been. So
okay. Oh no. So, next time we're just gonna have to go back up and be like, wait, I was just kidding.
Yes. Can I make a sub? Yeah. So next time I will not. I've learned my lesson. I won't go back, and I won't be a chicken shit.
Yeah.
And just be like, whatever. I'm gonna go back and. But
does this mean that you are not going back to meat eating?
No. I don't want to.
Okay, great.
But yeah, I'm still gonna stay vegetarian. This happens every once in a while. Every once in a while, I'm like, man, I miss chicken wings. And so I'll eat a plate of chicken wings, and I'm like, oh my God, what did I do?
What did I do to myself?
And then I go back to being a vegetarian. But I would say this probably happens about once a year, once every couple of years.
Okay.
I'm like, oh man, that looks delicious. But because of how much pain it caused me, I am not using that as my snack.
Oh, great.
By the way.
That's probably a good choice.
Yeah. But we did go up to Michigan to drop off the Jeep before we move, because there's not 3 of us to drive all our vehicles up there. So we stopped in Toledo it's a pub called the Blarney Stone.
Okay.
And they make the most delicious potato latkes.
What is that?
It's like a potato pancake.
Oh, okay.
But it's delicious.
Okay.
And they put like a whole bunch of stuff on them, and they're delicious by themselves. You know, with all the toppings, they're delicious too. But I ordered fish and chips, and I was super sad when Mike's potato latkes came out. So much so that he gave me one of his latkes, and I ate the whole thing. So
I have never heard that word before. Is it a Midwest thing or something? Like, I feel like I've never, or I just don't get out enough.
I think it's originally a Polish dish.
Okay.
So.
All right. That makes sense.
Yes, they were very good.
I don't know that word. That sounds
better
delicious.
They're better than any of the ones I've ever made. So I'm going to have to.
Oh, like at this place specifically?
Yeah,
okay.
I'm going to have to up my game, I think.
Oh, do you make them at home?
Sometimes I try to make them with like leftover, what is it? Like the leftover mashed potatoes at Thanksgiving or something like that. But like I said, I've never made them that delicious before. Okay. So I sat there eating them like, what's in this that I can steal? So
that's funny. Is it a chain, or is it like the place?
I don't think it is.
Oh, because I was going to say you might be able to find it online, like dupe recipe or something.
Yeah, I feel like it's probably not a chain, but I'm sure there is a lot of Irish pubs called the Blarney Stone.
Right.
Because of
True.
The nature of the name, right?
Right.
So just like there's a bazillion and a half cock and bulls, right?
Right. Have you been to one before?
I've been to several.
Okay. I have never. So great.
What about you?
My snack, I didn't really, I feel like I ate a lot of shit food this week, but not really a lot of snacks this week. So I'm going to use my Starbucks today as my snack. It's the pecan, iced pecan oat milk latte. Oh my God, they're so delicious. And
I've never had that one.
That's what I'm going to have today. And this one is actually from yesterday. I forgot it was in the fridge.
Wow.
So I ordered an iced one for me and a hot one for Tim. And when I went inside to pick it up, there was 2 iced ones. And so they remade the hot one, but gave me both of the iced ones. So I
Nice.
put one in the fridge. And then when I went in there to grab my breakfast this morning, I was like, oh, I forgot this was here.
Hooray.
So, yes.
Yeah.
So it's my snack this week.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yes.
I was gonna go do some like last minute grocery shopping for football snacks today, and maybe now I will go get one of those because that sounds pretty good.
They only sell them at specific ones though, so you have to look on the app and see which one has it.
It's the pecan what?
Pecan iced pecan oat milk or something. It's just whatever the pecan is.
Okay.
Not all of them have it.
We'll definitely look then.
Do it. So good. Yes. Also, I'm I don't know. The only note that I have written down on my page for this week is that it was your last week in person at work. And I just need to point it out again that now I'm going to be stuck. Not only do I not have somebody that I could go out to lunch with and go to the bookstore with and all the things, but now I have to be at work without you.
No, just don't go to work anymore.
Thank you.
I think you could probably get away with like one day a week in the office.
I know. I think I could too. Just every week have a new excuse.
There you go. Yes, I like it.
Great. All right. Well, is that everything? Are we ready for books already?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You say already, but we've been talking like 20 minutes.
That's probably. It just doesn't feel like it. What do you want to go or me?
You can go first.
Okay. I got real excited. Okay. So, I have two to talk about today.
Spirit fingers.
Yes. I was gonna do one, and then I finished a Christmas book last night, and I was like, I can't hold this one for very long because then it'll be too far past Christmas.
Yes.
So in recording timeline, it's Christmas week right now.
Mm-hmm.
So when this comes out, I'm sorry that it's already past Christmas, but that's okay. I wanted to get one more in before actual Christmas for me right now. Okay, so I read I listened on Audible to The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year by Allie Carter.
I think I've seen this one.
I saw it pop up like in a few different places, and it had pretty good ratings, so I was like, well, let's just do it. So like I said, it was on Audible. It's just over 8 hours of a listen. It's like a cozy holiday mystery rom-com. That's a lot for the genre, but that's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so it follows Maggie Chase and Ethan Wyatt. They are both authors, and they're both like at the same publishing whatever, and she writes cozy mysteries, and he is a thriller guy. And also she hates him. And so at the beginning of the book, they both get like this weird cryptic invite to this Christmas party, and the Christmas party is at this house in like at an English mansion in England.
So
And they are in the US, so it's like they have to fly over there. They don't know who,
and it's a trip.
Yes. So they have to go. Basically, she's like, what is this? And her editor is like, just go, you have to go. So she's like, all right. So they go to this party, and the host ends up being Eleanor Ashley, who is the most famous mystery. I wrote history, but mystery. The most famous mystery writer in the world. And Maggie is a massive fan of Eleanor. And so they show up, and she's shocked and surprised that Eleanor is the host.
And she's fangirling.
Like crazy. She doesn't know how to speak words. It's like crazy.
Nice.
So they get there, and it's like along with her and Ethan, it's like Eleanor's niece and a couple of her friends, and it's like a weird little group of people that she's assembled for this Christmas week party.
Are there other like authors or
There's
publishers?
one other author.
Okay.
So it's her, Ethan, and one other author, and then the rest are kind of like family and friends.
Okay.
So it's like a group of like 10 people-ish.
Okay.
So they get there, it's 3 days before Christmas. The weather turns crazy and stormy. The bridge goes out. The phones are out.
Oh.
Everything is just falling apart. And the next morning, Eleanor has just disappeared from a locked room. So they break into this room. They find that she's missing. They don't know where she is. She's just disappeared. And Maggie begins to wonder, is Eleanor in trouble? Is she in danger? Is this a test of some sort, like a mystery solving test?
Mm-hmm.
Can she trust Ethan? Is Ethan the competition? She doesn't know. So basically, clues start showing up. Shit gets crazier at the mansion. There's like the snow is piling up. There's poisonings that are happening. Things are going crazy. And Maggie basically has to decide, like, are the clues real? Like the clues that are happening, is this a real mystery? Did Eleanor really go missing? Like, did somebody kidnap her or something? Or is this still some sort of test where she has to figure out the clues and it'll lead to like finding Eleanor, basically. Okay. And so Maggie and Ethan ultimately like become allies, and they have to like solve the mystery and hopefully save Eleanor. So that's kind of everything. It's definitely mystery. It's kind of like a whodunit, but in a way of like, did she leave on her own or did somebody take her kind of situation.
Got you.
And so,
is there a secret passage?
There is.
Yes.
There is. And it's Christmas related of how you get into the passage. Okay. Yes, there's a secret passageway. There's like a secret hidden like cabin thing. Like it's crazy. So all of the book is basically from Maggie's point of view, with a couple of chapters from Ethan's point of view. And the ones that are from his, you kind of get, some are present day, but a lot of his are more, I think one or two of his is like more past. So you kind of get some information about how they got to this point in their hatred. Like all that kind of stuff of why, all that. So
it's like backstory. Gotcha.
A little bit of backstory, yeah. And I really, really liked it. So first, I love Ethan. He is fantastic. From the very beginning, I was like, who is this guy? Like, what? Okay, he's kind of like a little bit of a douchehead in the beginning, but I still really liked him. And then I just like grew to love him more throughout the whole book. So love Ethan. He and I really like how it was written. It was just kind of fast paced the whole time, just like one clue after the other, like trying to figure out what's happening. And I don't know, I just really liked it. I liked their banter with each other. I liked Maggie was not annoying, which I always enjoy in a main female character.
That helps.
So I really, really liked it. I did not rate it 5 stars. And I don't have a real reason for not rating it 5 stars other than there are a couple things with the ending that I didn't love.
Okay.
Just and it's not even like it's that bad. So I rated it 4.75. So fair. I only took a tiny bit off, and it was just because of my little bit of doubt with how it ended.
Okay. Do you think that this is a soft rating? Like you could come back later and be like, actually,
I could potentially give it a 5 just because the the doubt that I have at the end is like a soft doubt. It's not it's not like I hated it. So that's why I went with 4.75. Okay. It was enough for me to be like, I can't give it 5 stars. So but I did really, really enjoy it. I think it's a good little Christmas. It's not overly Christmas. It's not your typical like Christmas rom-com, like Hallmark movie. So I liked it for that too. Like it's not whatever. Anyways, I really, really liked it. I know it's past Christmas now when you're listening to this, but if you still want to read it, I still think it's not Christmassy enough that you could deal with it now, or put it on your list for Christmas 2025.
Yes.
Yes.
Something to look forward to.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so that's that one. My second one. I read this book in November. It's one that I read it and then I was like, okay, I'll do it in next episode. And then I read something better and I was like, ooh, I'll put it in next episode. And here we are.
I was gonna say, I feel like you've been saying this for about a month. So
yes.
That about jives. So
okay. So it's called Hidden Pictures by Jason Rekulak, I think is how you say his name. It is a thriller, mystery, horror, kind of.
Okay.
And I listened to this one on Audible. Okay. So, I'm going to give a little trigger warning. It does talk about substance abuse. So just keep that in mind. Okay. So it follows Mallory Quinn, who is fresh out of rehab. She is currently 18 months sober. She was on pills and heroin. So she had a rough go of her rehab. So like I said, 18 months sober. She's in like a in-house living, a sober house. And there is a woman who she is a kind of like a rehab therapist, I think is what she is. And so she kind of helps out some of the ones who have come out and are living in the sober house and sober living and all that kind of stuff. So this woman hires Mallory to come and take care of her 5-year-old named Teddy. And Mallory's going to be a live-in nanny. So she has a little cottage that's in the back of the property that she lives in. So she gets to stay on the property and whatever. She loves it. She loves Teddy. She loves the freedom, like all of the joys of being able to live at your work location and just be able to do, whatever. And she really bonds with him a lot, like really bonds with Teddy. One day, Teddy is drawing and it's a man dragging a woman's lifeless body through the forest.
Oh no.
Yeah, so they notice it, they talk to him about it, whatever. It keeps going. His artwork starts getting more and more sinister, like as every day he sits down for like quiet time and draws, and they also get more and more realistic. And even after he's told like no more drawing, we're doing something different during quiet time now, like this is not happening, and he swears he's not drawing anymore. Drawings somehow keep showing up, like on Mallory's doorstep, in her cottage, like a new drawing every day shows up, and he's like, I swear, I promise, I'm not doing it, that's not me. Okay. Okay. So then Mallory, basically just kind of like, once that's happening, she's working to decipher what the drawings mean. Like basically the whole middle of the book is kind of like following her day to day, taking care of Teddy, figuring out how she lives her new life, stuff like that, and trying to figure out what each of these drawings mean and what do they tell her. Also, there's a very cute boy, love interest, where she's a runner, and so she was running through this neighborhood and she found a cute boy. who ends up who ends up helping her. Sorry, I jumped real weird. No, ends up helping her figure out, like, try to decipher the stuff.
Can I ask a question first?
Yes.
Is he also a runner?
No.
Okay. Sorry. Okay.
No.
Sorry.
He's actually a gardener. His dad owns like a big gardening landscaping business, and he helps his dad out in the summer while he's home for college.
Cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know if they met on, like, while they were both running. Or...
No, they actually met while he was landscaping the house that she's at. And then she ends up running by his house when she's on her runs. But as she works to decipher these pictures and drawings and stuff, she starts to uncover some interesting family secrets. Dun dun dun. So I can't really say a whole lot more than that. It's super mystery. It's what she finds out is pretty wild. Like, it's crazy. So most of my thoughts and feelings about this are spoilery, so I will put them in Goodreads under the spoiler thing, so go check that out if you want to know for sure, or like know the specifics. But basically I enjoyed it, but I had some problems with it. One thing is there is a paranormal element to this, and I was not expecting that at all going into it. Okay. And so if you don't like paranormal stuff, like, you're not gonna like this book at all. So that was a little weird. I a couple of the twists, there's at least 2 or 3 twists that you find out as she's like uncovering all the secrets, and I don't love them. There's a little it makes me really frustrated. I can't wait to type this out on Goodreads. I need everybody to know, but I don't want to spoil anything. So I ended up rating it 3.5 pecan Starbucks, because I felt like it was a little bit better than just like nothing, like a midway true middle of the road 3, but not really enough to be a 4.
Okay.
So 3.5. I think I would still recommend it for somebody who's looking for like a paranormally mystery type thing, but just know, like, you do get substance abuse, you do get a lot of those conversations, you get I don't know, just it was just okay is what I'll say. Okay. So that's that.
Well,
the end.
The end. Nice.
Yes.
All right. Well, cool. I guess I can talk about my books now.
Okay, great.
Okay, so I read 2 books this week as well. My whole thing of secret goal of reading 3 books a week, I was going to try it out. I did not do it this week.
Okay.
And it was my own fault. So here I am.
That's okay, because 2 books a week is still great.
It's still a lot of books.
Yes.
So, okay, so the first book I'm going to talk about is called White Trash Warlock.
Great. Love that title.
Yes. So the author is David R. Slayton. I found this, it was a Audible Plus. It was the free audio book. It's a fantasy. And I think it's actually... I think the free part in Audible ends 12/31. So by the time you hear this, you will not be able to go find it as a free book. But it is book 1 of 3 in the Adam Binder series. Okay. I am gonna I have to look at the back because I wrote these down. So there are a lot of triggers in this book. There is child abuse, homophobia, mental institution. There's the murder attempt of a child described. Okay. It's kind of, there's kind of some sad parts. Okay. So But the
It
book
sounds like there's a lot to this.
There's a lot in this book, right? So the book follows poor Adam Binder, and he is the one who was committed to a psych ward as a child, and he was committed by his mother and his brother. So they both signed the paperwork to put him there, and they did this because he could hear voices and see things that weren't there.
Okay.
Now they thought he just needed to be there because of those reasons, but it's actually the fantasy aspect, is he was seeing a different world than they were. So no, that's the backstory. It's years later, and the book starts with
sorry, can I ask a question? Is it known that this is like a capability of people to see other worlds, or is this like a one, like they don't know anyone else that's like this, they don't even know that this is even possible?
So they assume that he got this ability from his father, who doesn't sound like any of the flashbacks that he has this ability, or if he does, he hid it really well, or maybe he just didn't have enough of the ability to like impact him. But his father's sister has what they call like the sight, and she can see into the future a little bit and stuff like that.
So magic is something that exists to them,
but
they jumped to,
well, the mother and the brother don't believe it. They just think
I see.
Yes. They just think that he's making it up, and he maybe has like like schizophrenia or something like that. So
all right.
So,
but carry on.
So, so all this is, in the past, which you learn about because the book goes back and forth. You have chapters in real time and then past chapters that are in the past. So, but the book starts with, this is years later. He's living in Oklahoma with his aunt, and he gets a call from his brother. And, his brother needs help because his wife has been possessed. Shit. And Adam is the only person he knows who can help him. And this is a big deal because his brother has never shown any inclination before that he's had the sight or had any of this stuff. So that's why Adam takes it serious, because his brother is like, I saw something that I wasn't supposed to see. That's how strong this possession is, right?
Jeez. All right.
So a deeply conflicted Adam, arrives in Denver only to find things are far worse than he imagined.
All right.
Wildly worse. But in order for him to make it right, he has to do something that he does not want to do. And I cannot give any more away. There's also a second, subplot, I guess if you want to call it, where Adam is trying to find his father, who he assumes is also like him and a warlock. And he's trying to stop him from doing some bad things as well, because his dad is not a good person, which the book talks about in depth.
All right.
So like I said, it was free on Audible Plus. It is not free anymore. There are a lot of triggers in this book. Also, based on all of that, Adam's life was really difficult.
It sounds like it.
He had a lot of struggles. It was really sad to listen to at some points. But I feel like the author did a pretty good job with some of that. And, the book was still a very good book.
Good.
Adam's love interests are cute. He has a couple. So he meets a gentleman named Vic, and there is it's like a new, sweet, cute romance. He's like the perfect person for Adam, because he recognizes that Adam has faults, not because of anything that he's done, but just maybe trauma is a better word. And he's really understanding, and it's really cute and sweet. And, but there's also a former love interest that shows up and gives Adam conflicting feelings.
Oh, no.
So, yeah.
Is it a love triangle?
No.
Okay.
Not yet. Not in this book.
Okay.
Not yet. Maybe not yet is the best way to.
Okay.
But I might read the second book just to see how that goes, because I'm interested, because there are a couple twists that were in there, and I was like, oh, that's cute.
Okay.
And so I'd like to know what happens. Not so much for the story, but just because I want to know what happens with Adam and Vic and this third character.
Okay.
So my last thought on this book, and probably the reason that I marked it down as much as I did, is I didn't understand the villain's motive. It felt like it just, like, the whole book was great, and then you get to the end and you find out who the villain is and what the motive is, and it was just explained. It says, I didn't like this. It's just the way it is.
Okay.
And I was like, I just say so. So that's why I did this. So
I hate you, therefore I do this.
Right. Like,
okay.
So that's why I marked it down as much as I did. But I also didn't like that the villain is identified in the book description.
Oh.
Like, it's supposed to be a secret, I think.
Okay. So don't read the book description.
Yeah, so don't read the book's description if you don't want to know who the villain is.
Okay.
So
yeah, that's a weird, especially if it's supposed to be like a twist or something.
Right. So
okay.
I don't know. But I gave this one, I put 3 just so that way I could put it in Goodreads as a star.
Okay.
But I'd say it hangs out between 3 and 4 for hotkeys. Closer to 3 just because of the villain thing. But I don't know, maybe I'll come back to it.
All right.
So
you have a whole year to change your mind.
I have a whole year. Actually, yeah, I guess I do. Even though this counts as 2024.
Oh, that's right. Never mind. Dang it.
All right. So the second book I read was one that we talked about in our 2024 wrap up. Okay. I said I wasn't going to read until 2025, and then I forgot. So at least I'm talking about it in 2025.
Yes.
Though it's going to count towards my 24 books.
Yes.
And this one is Cinder by Marissa Meyer. I bought it as a physical copy, but it is also on Kindle Unlimited right now. I think all of the series is. Actually, there's 4 books out right now. I don't know if there's going to be any more. I haven't gotten that far. But it's book 1 in the Lunar Chronicles. There's 4 books out right now.
Okay.
All of them are Kindle Unlimited.
Excellent.
Hopefully they're still Kindle Unlimited when this comes out.
Yes.
Okay. This is a fantasy.
Okay.
Okay. So, like the name implies a little bit, this is a Cinderella-esque book.
Okay. I was going to ask that.
Yeah. So, and it is set in future Beijing.
Future. Okay.
Wildly in the future.
All right.
I don't know how far in the future, because they make mention of there's like a World War IV, and after World War IV, they start like a new timeline. So you know how it's
weird.
Like we're in like 2024 now, or 2025 now, excuse me. And after this World War II, they basically start the numbers over. Okay. So it's now, I don't remember what year they said it was, but it's, you know, so, but it's future, sorry. But yes, it's future Beijing. Okay. And in this future, there are humans, there are androids, like robots, and there are also cyborgs. Okay. All living together. All right. So the book follows the main character. Her name is Cinder, and she is a cyborg. Okay. And she is, this is a side note, she's also locally known as the best mechanic in all of New Beijing. So that's, but because she is a cyborg, she is treated as a second-class citizen. Okay. And all cyborgs are generally looked down upon. So, is this, you know, she's not in great circumstances because of that. So. Okay. But she is out one day and she meets the handsome Prince Kai.
Hello, Kai.
I think that's how you say his name. So, right. But she doesn't, at the time, it's not something that her being a cyborg she shares with people because, it's something that she doesn't want people to know. You can't really tell.
I was going to say, is it not clear by seeing them?
So she has the things that would identify her straight away. She has a metal hand.
Okay.
And she also has a metal foot, but she wears mechanics gloves and she's wearing pants and, boots. So you can't really see those things if you're not looking for them.
Okay. So, interesting.
Yes. And this is something that she hides the entire time in the book. So
all right.
It's worth noting though, but she hides it the entire time. So there's 2 main story arcs throughout this book. The one is there is a plague ravishing the earth right now, and is kind of similar to the Black Plague. So people get it, and then within a couple weeks they die. Okay. And there's no cure for it.
Does it affect cyborgs as well?
Well, okay. It can.
Okay.
I lied. It can.
All right.
And then the second story arc is there is also a race of lunar people. They live on the moon, and they are threatening invasion.
Shit. All right.
Yeah, so lots of stuff going on. So Cinder is caught up in both problems. She plays a pretty big role in both issues. And so the story arcs, it's just the whole book is her following her through those 2 story arcs. So the thoughts on the book is I think they did a pretty good job incorporating the Cinderella story into the book, but I also think that it gave away a lot of stuff in the plot just because if you've heard the Cinderella story, you kind of already know what's going to happen and what the plan is and things. So I don't think she was trying to make it seem like it wasn't gonna it could go differently, but it did. You kind of knew what was going to happen at the beginning of the book.
All right.
There's a couple twists in the book, but I don't think any of them were a surprise to me. I wasn't forward thinking in the book oh man, I bet this is. But when I said it, it was yeah, okay, yeah, I saw it.
Yeah.
Cinder and Kai their romance is very YA.
Okay.
I think she's only 16 in this book.
Okay.
And I think he is of a similar age. So it's written more of the bashful crush, kind of style romance, if you even want to call it romance. And it happens really quick. They meet each other and they're both oh my God, I love this person.
Well, I mean, that's kind of
they're
how it
so
happens
cute
in Cinderella, right? He immediately falls in love with her. Yeah. Okay.
Right. Yeah. So, I really liked the book. I enjoyed the plots. I like Cinder. Kai is adorable. So I think I'm gonna continue reading. I already started the second book, so I'm gonna continue reading and see what the other books. Because her story continues, Cinder's story continues as a sub story in the rest of the series. You meet new characters in every book. I'm kind of nervous about the other books because as you add in more and more characters, I'm kind of nervous about what that means for if you lose any of the story or any of the plot because you have just so many characters running around and points of view. Yep. So I'm also interested in that. I would say there's some stuff that's not fully explained in the book. It's not really they just say oh, the Lunar Queen hates people or hates moon, people who live on Earth, and all their people, they both hate each other.
Okay.
Earth people don't like lunar people, but they never really say why that I could tell. There's no explanation of why that they don't like each other. And it's just stuff like that, right?
Okay.
It's just a whole bunch of little things like that. I didn't remove anything from the book because of it, because I'm reserving judgment for if maybe it's explained a little bit more. Some of these things are explained in, the next 3 books. I'm hoping to get a little bit more information. I will come back.
Okay.
Let
us know.
And after the book finishes, if it changes. So for this one, I rated it 4 potato latkes.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
How fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Before we get into our discussion question, I forgot that I was going to tell you something about something we talked about in the end of year episode.
Mm-hmm.
I talked to my sister about how we did last year.
Okay.
For 2024.
Yeah, I was wondering.
Yes, I asked her statement to the press. And her first statement was, we actually planned to do 2 a month.
You just forgot?
I completely forgot. I thought when we talked about it, we were going to do 1 a month.
Oh, so you guys did 1 more than
we did expecting. 1 better. Yes, we did 25 instead of 24. However, she said she still is shocked at the fact that we stuck with it and we kept going. Mm-hmm. And she's also very excited about continuing it. So, nice. Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but yeah, her statement to the press is, Vanessa is stupid and can't remember anything.
That sounds like a very younger sister statement.
Dang it. Okay. Well, I'm dumb. That's okay. We still finished it. We still stuck with it. We still I'm still proud of us. So, yes. Okay. Now, are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Okay. What are your thoughts on doing dog-eared pages in physical books or writing in books?
Okay. Go ahead. Sounds like you have emotional thoughts.
Yeah, so I have weird feeling about this where I have different feelings on hardcover versus paperback.
Okay.
I feel like paperbacks, for some reason, you can do more to them.
You can destroy them and not feel as bad?
Yeah, you have leeway. If you want to fold a page, then fold it or whatever. But
okay.
I definitely do not like dog-eared pages. I would use anything as a bookmark before I dog-eared a page, I think.
Yeah.
And writing in books, I've never been so inclined to write in a book. This year, 2024, was the first time I've ever written in a book before. And it was because we were doing bonus bites for Twilight.
I was gonna say that, yeah.
And they're not special edition books or anything. They're actually, they're repurchases of the Twilight series that I've had to buy later because I don't know what happened to my original ones. Mm-hmm. And so, they're probably in my mom's cabinet. I'm just
it's part of her secret stash.
Yes. And so I didn't really have hard feelings one way or the other of whether I was going to write in them or not, and it just made it easier for our episodes. So I wrote and highlighted the crap out of those. But generally, I would say I don't love the idea of writing in books.
Yeah. I think from a practicality standpoint, I can't see writing in books just because the pages are always so thin.
Yeah.
You do any kind of writing and it just I feel like you'd have to have a really special pen in order for it to not bleed through. Right?
Yeah. Or have indentation for 12 pages.
Right. Yeah.
Of your writing. Yeah.
So, but back to your the dog ear portion that you were talking about. I don't have a reason to dog ear a book. Mm-hmm. I'm not against it if you do it. But I love bookmarks. Mm-hmm. I have a bazillion and a half bookmarks. Every time if somebody sends me a Christmas card and I'm it has a cute pattern on it, I'll cut out a bookmark from it. So yeah, that's and cute. I'll just and then once I have enough of them, I throw them through the laminator, and then I have bookmarks, right? So Christmas, birthday cards, Christmas cards, if there's a cute little, and I can make a bookmark out of it, I will. Okay. So I don't ever really have a problem with not having bookmarks.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I will use literally anything as a bookmark.
Yeah.
Like a Kleenex,
Right.
a receipt.
A receipt. Yeah.
Yeah. A sticky note.
Random Post-it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't really think there is ever a reason to dog ear a book because it's so easy to use anything
else
as a bookmark. Unless you're trying to save the page for like a reason that you need to go back to, I guess. But
sure.
I don't highlight in books either. Like I don't like, oh, this passage means so much to me. Like,
right.
I don't go back through books and see what passages in books speak to me or spoke to me.
It's weird because you know how Kindle does, like in the Kindle you can highlight things. It took me a really long time to even do it in that because I was so in the mindset of like reading a physical book and not need, like at no point in my mind was I like, I have to highlight this in my book. So even when I do it in the Kindle, it's still like a weird, like I have to remember like, oh yeah, I have this capability.
Right. Yeah. So I think I don't know if it's in the Kindle app or if it's in Goodreads where they link up and you can go back and look at everything you've highlighted. I did that.
It's in both.
Is it in both? Yeah. I was perusing through that, where I saw it, and it was like things that I had accidentally highlighted. So it's like, like when I was carrying my phone or something, so it'd be like, there is a highlighted by Nicole.
Yes. Thank you.
Interesting.
On that note, I actually do have been doing it more often since we started the podcast. I will highlight in Kindle. And when I go and rate the book on Goodreads, I unhide them because they're hidden. And so I'll go in and unhide the ones that are not spoilers or like mark ones that are spoilers. So I've been doing that. So if you want to see any of the highlights that I do in Kindle for any of the books that I've reviewed, go look on Goodreads.
Nice.
But yeah, it's weird. I've been getting better at doing it in there, but like I said, it's because I never think about it when I'm reading a physical book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I've never been a person who notates in books, highlights in books. I don't do like page marks or anything. I like you were saying, the bonus bites books are the first ones that I've ever done that kind of stuff in. But I did read that book this year called The Book Swap.
I was just gonna say that as soon as you were done. But it's such a cute idea.
Yes.
If you're gonna write in a book, make sure it's for a mystery lover.
Right. Yes. So yeah, while I didn't really like that book, I did think the idea of writing notes in there to like your thoughts or like why things were, so that way you could share it with another person. I thought that was really cute. And I would do that.
Yeah, I think that's a cute idea.
But yeah.
Yeah, I like that idea. Ooh, should we add that to our goals this year? That we do one where we I read a book and annotate in it and give it to you, and then you read a book and annotate it and give it to me.
Yeah, we could try it with one.
Yeah, one.
We'll start with one each.
Great. Yes.
Well, that'll click off one of your, or check off one of your, you said you were going to read 3 books that I recommended.
Oh yeah, it could.
So yeah.
That's funny.
I might not recommend it, but I gave it to you to read.
Exactly. Yes. Well, that's all my thoughts on that.
I have one more thought on that. I guess if we're going to do that, I could see it if I pick the book before I've read it,
right,
and I'm going to notate it. I have a feeling it would just turn into nothing. Like, it wouldn't be like, oh, I love this, and I think this is really important.
You'd be like, shut up.
I'd be like, Vanessa, hate this person with me, or something like that.
Every time the main female character says something stupid, you're just like, oh, I can't anymore.
I feel like I wouldn't be able to fit all of the thoughts in the notations.
Right.
I would have to like put it all on sticky notes, and then you'd be trying to read around sticky notes. I don't know how well this would work, but I'm still willing to give it a try.
All right. It sounds like a great adventure for us. All right. Well, great. Tell us, do you mark up your books and fold all the pages? And
are you a psycho?
Yes, exactly. Do you do all of that? Or do you like to leave your books nice and pristine for your shelf trophy? Mm-hmm. You could tell us at all the places. We are Savor the Story Pod everywhere, on the internets, on the website, on the TikToks, on the Instagrams, literally everywhere. So send us an email or a DM or something telling us all the things. And then, rate us 5 stars.
Please.
Right now.
Go do it. It's so easy to click right now.
Yes. And if you are new here because we're on video now, welcome. Mm-hmm. Thank you. And if you have been with us, thanks for sticking around. And we're just going to keep reading and giving you good reviews.
Yes. Happy New Year.
Yes. Happy New Year. All right. Thanks.
All right.
Okay. Bye.
Get out of here.